What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we are back with another new look rebuild, as today we will be doing the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks obviously didn't change that much. They did just make a signing today, so let's just go ahead and talk about all that they've done and jump straight into this new look Milwaukee Bucks rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Currently on the road to 50,000 subs, so it'd be appreciated if you hit that subscribe button to help us reach that goal. Also, quick update, I have heard the feedback in the comment section below. I have decided to switch back to my share scenario. As much as I love everything that Joda Kilmer does for the 2K community, I won't deny that there was some things wrong with his share scenario as far as the trade finder and some trade value stuff. So I have switched back to mine. So if you are looking for a share scenario, I have updated mine once again. I think I have everything completely updated. So if you want to search up a share scenario, Boomeo on Xbox, maybe you can find it on PS5 as well. Some people have told me they've been able to. But yeah, that's where you can find it if you want to check it out. But like I said, we're doing the Bucks today, so let's talk about what they've done. It's not a whole lot. Obviously, they're a second apron team, so they're kind of limited on what they could do. But they signed Gary Trent Jr. today. That's a big one for them. They got Torian Prince, and of course, they drafted guys like Tyler Smith and also AJ Johnson. So yeah, that's pretty much the Bucks offseason. Nothing special, nothing spectacular. But of course, the main problem with this team is they just didn't have enough continuity, I think. You know, Dame and Giannis first season playing together. Dame came into the season out of shape as well. That was kind of talked about as well. And, well, this team will just simply run it back with a few role player, additions. So we'll see if it makes a difference for them. Of course, it could have made a major difference if you had Giannis and Dame healthy for playoffs. But unfortunately, they both got hurt. Giannis didn't play the entire series. But we got to cut one player. And I'm pretty sure Ty Washington isn't even playing on the Bucks anymore. I could be wrong about that, but let's go ahead and cut him. But Power King is first overall according to 2K, so it looks like we got something going for us. But I think there's one thing we could probably do to start things off in this video is we can definitely try to stop at the trade deadline and see what our options might be, because I'm not really sure how this is going to go. Sometimes 2K likes the Bucks, and I feel like other times they really don't. So here's your rotation right now, though. It's Dame, Gary Trent, Middleton, Giannis, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, Torian Prince, Marjon Beauchamp, Andre Jackson, and if you ran a 10-man rotation, it'd be DeLon Wright, which I think we'll go ahead. We'll just run a 9-man rotation for this season. So Tyler Smith, of course, was their 2nd-round pick, and AJ Johnson was their 1st-round pick. I guess we can go ahead and just send both of them to the G League this year. It wouldn't surprise me if, Tyler Smith was a contributor right away, or if AJ Johnson. I mean, I feel like AJ Johnson, as I've heard, is more raw than Tyler Smith is. But technically both could be considered maybe projects or whatever. So let's go ahead, just simulate year number 1. We'll see how things go. One other thing I wanted to look at was Dame's shot tendency. I want to make sure he is scoring a whole lot next to Giannis. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead, run this season, see how things go according to 2K, and we'll make adjustments to the deadline if needed. But hopefully this team comes out the gates firing and we make the playoffs regardless. Today's video is brought to you by two softwares designed to help you beat the sportsbook and become a much profitable sports bettor. So starting off with the DGF Optimizer, which primarily focuses on the DFS apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, Better, etc., etc. So basically how it works is compares discrepancies across sportsbooks, even back to their own, or back to some other fantasy apps as well. So, for example, as you can see with Able, League of Legends, so of course there's no actual major sports going on at the moment. MLB is on their all-star break, so we don't have like any baseball props on the board. But basically what it does, like I said, compares discrepancies. So as you can see on PrizePicks, under 8, it would make no sense to take the over on, at 8 when you can get it at 7.5 on Parlay Play or Hot Streak. So basically, it's just line shopping. It's like when you buy a car, you're not going to go buy it at the most expensive place possible unless you've got money like that, I guess. And then that's basically what it does. You're just going to go compare discrepancies. You have another example here with Grim under 29.5. You can get it at 27.5 or 28.5 on a different app. So why would you take it over on PrizePicks when you could take the under there and take the over on one of these other two apps? And I also have OddsJam as well, which is another tool that has a DFS app or has the Fantasy Optimizer as well. But what this tool does, the Positive EV tool specifically, which is the one I use on OddsJam, is it compares discrepancies for traditional sportsbooks such as FanDuel, DraftKings. Well, as you can see, again, it's a very slow time right now. Not a whole lot of good examples on the board at the moment. But I guess if we look at this top play game spread, so as you can see, you can get this at -150 when all the other apps have this at average of -175. So why would you go bet this on DraftKings at minus 195. We can get it at minus 150. That's basically how the gist of this works. When you line shop and take the best possible price, you're going to become a much profitable sports bettor. So make sure to check out both tools. Links are down in the description below. You get a percentage off when you use my code Crushables. 25% off, I believe, on DGF, and I think it's 15 on OddsJam. So make sure to check them out. On that, let's get back to the video. So we're gonna start with the trade deadline as we are 28 and 21 on the season, as things are going decently well at the moment, but I still want to try to make some upgrades here and see if we can upgrade this roster in any way possible. I know Brook Lopez is about to be a free agent this offseason, and I just think it's best to move him while we can, while he's making $23 million. Now, we are a second apron team, so we can't get back more salary than we send out. We also can't aggregate contracts. So I have a couple ideas in mind when it comes to a Brook Lopez trade, so this is what we're looking at. So I had a couple things offered to me. We're not going to get Nikola Vucevic because I don't think that would solve anything. But Marcus Smart being offered to me from the Grizzlies isn't a bad idea. Now, I don't want to trade a first-round pick to get Marcus Smart, though. But I could definitely see Memphis potentially being interested in Brook Lopez. Of course, they really wanted a big in the draft in Klingon. They ended up with Zach Edey. I think them getting Brook Lopez wouldn't be too crazy. And then the other idea is Sacramento, which I think Malik Monk also wouldn't be too... or Brook Lopez wouldn't be too crazy for them because that gives them like a center who can actually, defend down low over Sabonis. So I think we're going to try for either Malik Monk or Marcus Smart. And personally, I think getting Malik Monk would be the better option to start here. But as I said, we can't aggregate contracts. So we're going to try to do this without another contract in here. So I don't think trading a 2026 pick is the worst thing. It's a, swap worse with the Pelicans. I don't think it's the worst thing to do to get Malik Monk back. I think getting Malik Monk, who is a really good three-point shooter. I mean, he's shooting 44% from three, 14 points per game, and Sacramento gets a first-round pick, gets off his contract entirely. They get Brook Lopez. I kind of like it. I don't know if they'll do this. This gives us our long-term starting shooting guard. Will they do this is the question. They want Andre Jackson, of course, as I mentioned. I can't aggregate salary, so maybe we can't make something happen. A second-round pick, and wow, that got it done. I did not think a second would make the difference, but it did. Malik Monk, welcome to Milwaukee. I love how we're starting this. Now, you may be asking yourself, what are we going to do at center now? Since Brook Lopez is gone, this is what we're going to do for at least this season. We might change this in the future, but I think we're going to start Giannis at the 5. I think we kind of have to. So I'm going to start Giannis at center. I don't really want Bobby Portis to be my long-term, or I don't want him to be my starting center. So I'm going to move Bobby Portis to power forward, and we'll see what that looks like now. So this is what it would look like. So we got Dame, Malik Monk, Middleton, Bobby Portis, and Giannis. I like it. You got Gary Trent, Torian Prince, Marjon Beauchamp, and Andre Jackson. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't give us really a backup center at all. But one thing we might be able to do, since we didn't, or actually, I guess we did trade that first, so maybe we can't do anything else. But we got Malik Monk. I think we'll just leave it at that. I feel pretty happy. I guess we could trade this 2028 first in theory, but I think I'll just stick with that. There was a guy I kind of had in mind, but we'll leave it at that for now. Let's go ahead. Like the rest of the season now that we have Malik Monk and see how it goes now that we've slid Giannis to the 5, moved on from Brook, and hope the rest of the season goes well as we are going to be hopefully a contender in this Eastern Conference like the Bucks should be in real life. So at the end of year 1, Shea wins MVP, Risha Shea is your rookie of the year, Amin Thompson 6th man on the Rockets, defensive player, Cade most improved, and Damian Lillard. Awesome. Clutch player of the year. Love to see that. All-NBA first team. No Giannis or Dame, but we do get Giannis on the All-NBA second. Does Dame make an All-NBA third? He does not. That kind of sucks because it looked like he had a pretty solid season, but all good. Here's all offense first team and all defensive second team. And one thing we have going for us after the season, we're going to have Tyler Smith in rotation now. Maybe A.J. Johnson could get in there as well. I guess it all depends on how much they develop. But hey, we got this 16 in the East. A little disappointing, but hey, we avoid the play-in. We're a playoff team. I'll absolutely take that over, missing entirely. So let's go ahead, though, and see what we can do in these playoffs. We're running a 9-man rotation already. Tyler Smith is actually getting minutes, which is kind of nice. So I don't know. It'd be kind of weird to just throw him in the fire after he didn't play all season. So I think I'm going to go to an 8-man rotation in these playoffs. Why not? Let's try to play our 8 best players. Let's try to go on a deep run here and see if we can make something happen. We definitely need to get a backup 5 going forward. Maybe even a different center or maybe even a starting center. That way Giannis isn't playing the 5. But it all depends on, what we can end up getting here. But this is what we got for now. I love the Malik Monk edition. We'll see if it gets us to round 2 or not. We get Cleveland, which of course is always a tough task. Let's go ahead. They might curl around against them. We won game 1 and they're up 3-2. So we got a competitive series in front of us. We got to win a game 6 to force a game 7. We are going to be Milwaukee for it, but let's see what happens. I would love nothing more to at least go to game 7 with Cleveland It looks like we might make that happen, which we do. 120 to 126. 42 from Giannis to make it happen. And now we go to Game 7 in Cleveland to see if we can make it to the second round in year number 1. Obviously, Giannis and Dame did not have the pleasure of playing together in the playoffs last year. Both of them got hurt. But this year, now that they are healthy and playing together, we get a playoff series win. And we're on to round 2 to play Orlando, who upset the New York Knicks. Very interesting. All right. So we got Sacramento and Denver on the other side. So it looks like maybe trading for Brook Lopez worked out for them as they upset the Thunder. You got Minnesota and Dallas on the other side as well. But man, I could potentially see us as I choke up on my words, I could potentially see us making it to the conference finals this year. I definitely think it's possible. But Orlando is never just a slouch team that you can just beat and roll over on. But we got an even series once again. So we got to win this pivotal Game 5. Orlando is not a team we want to mess with. So let's see if we can win Game 5 to take an advantage in the series. It's looking okay so far, but they could get it at any moment. And they almost steal it at the very end, but thankfully we cover it and we win Game 5. So they want to give less minutes to Gary Trent apparently. So here we go to Game 6 in Orlando. I would love nothing more than just beat them here and not have to sweat a Game 7, but it looks like that's going to be the case. We go into a Game 7, it looks like. So Game 7, unfortunately, we lose by 13 there. So Game 7 in Milwaukee to get to the conference finals with Giannis and Dame. Can we do it is the question. And we got ourselves a barn burner here. Can we get it done? Looks like we're going to blow them out. As long as we don't let them back in the game, we're going to the conference finals W. So year number 1, we're going to the conference finals. And we got either Indiana or Atlanta. Of course, I would love to see Indiana because they beat us last year. And it is going to be Atlanta, unfortunately. So Atlanta, Milwaukee, you got Dallas and Denver. And we got, wasn't Atlanta the team that Milwaukee played that one year in the conference finals, if I'm not mistaken? I could be wrong. My memory might not be right on that. But regardless, Atlanta really doesn't have any business being here. So, kind of hope we just smack them, but we'll see what happens. Somebody come around against Atlanta. And of course, we go to a Game 7 with them as well. So we got 2 Game 7s, and now we have a third one. So if we do win, we get a Luka versus Giannis finals, which would be absolutely beautiful. A Trae Young versus Luka finals is kind of fun as well. But, of course, I'm the Bucks, so I'd rather it be Giannis versus Luka today. We got ourselves a close one. We've had to lead for a majority of the game, but it doesn't mean the Atlanta Hawks can't take it at the end. And we are going to the NBA Finals in year number 1. So it looks like moving Giannis to the 5 really worked out. So really can't be mad about doing that. So I'm very happy we made that move. But now we get Luka Doncic and the Mavericks, who have made the finals for a second year in a row. I'm trying to get Damian Lillard his ring, and getting it in year number 1 of this 5-year new look rebuild would be amazing. But Dallas wins Game 1. Game 2 is going to go to them. Game 3, man, is Dallas just going to smack us like that? That sucks. Looks like that is going to be the case, though, unfortunately, unless we come down from a 3-0 deficit or come back from a 3-0 deficit. But Dallas is going to take this one, and they are not going to look back. So they sweep us in the finals. That sucks. Damian Lillard makes his first finals, but it does not matter. We had 3 Game 7s in a row, so we were probably just super tired. Dallas, on the other hand, yeah, they had a 6-game, 5-game, 5-game, but yeah. So unfortunately, we come up short in the finals. It's cool that we got there, but yeah, kind of sucks. It is what it is. What can you do? So let's go to the lottery. And of course, I don't think we're gonna have a draft pick, so we traded it to get Malik Monk. And I think if we would have had that pick, let's see where it would have ended up. So Blazers get number 1. I actually don't see where our pick would, or it would have been 20. So it looks like the Nets have it, I guess, apparently. But none of my business. So, because we don't have it anyway. So what does it matter? So Doc Rivers, I mean, we made it to the finals with them. So I guess we'll keep him for another year. But let's go ahead and get straight into the thick of things of the offseason. See what we're going to do next. I'm probably not going to just run it back. I think I'm going to try to make some upgrades. But I imagine we're still going to be very limited on what we can do. So yeah, we don't have a draft pick, so we're just going to go straight to player options. So we have Beauchamp. Pat Connaughton accepting that $9 million actually comes in handy. Now, Middleton declined his player option, so that becomes a little interesting. I definitely think we probably just have to re-sign him, though. So that's probably what we'll end up doing there. I don't imagine we can do anything too crazy in free agency. So he wants $40 million. I can't justify giving Middleton a 5-year deal. I think at most I'd give him a 2-year deal. $33 million, I guess, is fine. So we'll re-sign Chris Middleton. If I could get Gary Trent Jr. back, I would as well, but I doubt it would let me. But we'll see. Can I get Gary Trent? No. We can get Caruso, apparently. But I imagine we're a second apron team, right? I mean, surely we are. So, yeah, we're definitely over the second apron. So, we can't just go sign a minimum or sign a MLE. That's not actually the case. We can only sign minimum contracts. We do have Tyler Smith coming from the G League, so hopefully he can be really good this upcoming season. Maybe AJ Johnson can do something. But I want to try to use this Pat Connaughton contract for something. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I want to at least try. So, that's what we'll try to do next. So, if I threw Pat Connaughton out there, let's just say... I mean, it could be any position. I just want to see what I could get. I know a lot of what's going to pop up is going to be rookie contracts, obviously, but we can only take back $9 million. Who could we potentially get? We're not getting J-Dub, obviously. Duran, no. Kuminga, no. Jaime Jaquez. We probably have to, go down to the bottom of the barrel a little bit here. Let's see. So on. Nah, not really. Sadiq Bey is interesting. He just signed with Washington. I think getting him wouldn't be terrible. I don't know if he would fit anywhere, but we'll see. We might consider him. Peyton Pritchard, Gigi Jackson. There's definitely some options here. You also have Deuce McBride. But yeah, I think that's what... Ooh, Paul Reed as a backup 5. I don't hate. I don't know, man. I'm going to try to do something with this $9 million, though. Try to trade it out. We don't have many assets, so we really have to, work with what we got. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do with Pat Connaughton's side potentially, if we can do anything at all. We don't have access to a second yet, so that probably doesn't help us at all. So maybe we have to take this to the deadline. But I'll go Pat Connaughton in a 2028 Blazers first and see. If Grant Williams makes more money than we're sending out, so we can't do that. More than likely, we're going to have to take this to the deadline. Yeah, we get Kyle Anderson, but I don't really want Kyle Anderson. So I think we'll just probably take this to the deadline. I think that's what we have to do, unfortunately. So we still should sign a veteran backup 5, though, for a minimum contract. Absolutely. So Looney... let's get Looney on a minimum contract. So that's something I definitely should do, is still sign a minimum contract. Mo Bamba wouldn't be bad either, but Looney... actually, Mo Bamba would actually make a lot of sense, because at least he can shoot a little bit. Will he sign a minimum, though, is the question. I don't think he will, but we'll try. So he declines for now. Do we want to just sign Looney? I know we can't sign Gary Trent back. I guess for now, we're running Giannis as a 5 anyway, so we don't need like a floor spacing big man, but it is, it's a luxury to have if you can get it. But all right, so player progression, Dame and Giannis are down. You got Tyler Smith up to a 78. Okay, I will take that. Beauchamp up to a 76. Ajax up. AJ Green is up, and so is AJ Johnson. So we're pretty much running it back, and the one asset we do have is Pat Connaughton's $9 million. That's an expiring $9 million. I think we try to use that at our disposal at the deadline to see if we can make an upgrade somewhere. Specifically, maybe the center spot. So we're at the trade deadline at 27 and 24. I'm looking to make an improvement. I kind of mentioned specifically at that backup 5 spot, and I kind of have an idea on who I want to go for. Now, there's a couple guys. So first and foremost, I kind of thought about Paul Reed on the Pistons. I think would be kind of fun. Now, I don't know if I want to trade a first-round pick for him, though, is the only problem, but he would be a massive upgrade at the backup 5 spot. But the other option, which this is going to be really shooting for the stars, but there is rumors about potentially the Jazz moving in real life. That was Walker Kessler. Now, Walker Kessler's developed into a 87 overall, though. And thankfully, we do have a contract that we can make it happen. Now, I'm going to offer this Blazers swap, this second-round pick as well. I believe this 2029 and 2030 pick actually belongs to Portland, if I'm not mistaken. I know 2029 does for sure. 2030 might just be a pick swap. Regardless, I think it is because 2030... I can't remember exactly what it is. I should as a Blazers fan, but it's so far out I can't remember at the moment. But I'm going to throw Mars on Beauchamp. I don't know if the Jazz would do this because Walker Kessler is incredible. But hey, if we got him as our backup 5, I mean, sign me up. I don't know if they'll do this. Like I said, they don't agree. Damn, that would have been awesome. Okay. I can't combine salaries, of course, unfortunately. It would be awesome if I could, but we're over the second apron. But yeah, he's cheap enough right now that we could try to make it work. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like the Jazz are going to accept. So the other option, like I said, was Paul Reed on the Pistons, which I'm not really sure I want to go for him if we have to trade a first-round pick. If we can get him for a second, I would do it. But I'll offer Connaughton salary. Second-round pick, Connaughton for Paul Reed. If they accept it, that's fine. If they don't, I walk away, and they don't agree. I'm not trading a first for Paul Reed. I can't do it. So... all right, we tried. It did not work out. We'll just take this to the end of the season, and we'll just see how we finish out and make some changes in the offseason if need be. But yeah, no moves for us at the deadline, unfortunately. Would have loved to have been able to do something, but just really couldn't figure anything out there. So Tyrese Halliburton wins MVP. Cooper Flagg's Rookie of the Year on the Miami Heat. Nikola is your sixth-man Wemby Defensive Player. Dillingham Most Improved and Clutch Player goes to Paulo. And Rick Carlisle is your Coach of the Year. And Daniel Wells is your Executive. So here's your All-NBA first team. We do get Giannis once again. All-NBA second. And no Dame. I think we might eventually see Dame, but we have not gotten him there just yet. We are the 4th seed in the East. We get Orlando in round 1. We beat them last year, but that doesn't mean we get to beat them this year. So Tyler Smith was excellent, which is awesome having him part of the rotation this year. Bobby Portis with 10, 8 from AJ Johnson when he played, 5 from Beauchamp, and 5 from Andre Jackson. So we're going to see what we can do against the Orlando Magic and hope we can get back to the NBA Finals. We'll see what happens. So somebody current round against Orlando, and we are going to go down 3-2 to them. So if we can eliminate in round 1, not going to be a great feeling, but let's see if we can crawl out of this hole that we're in currently. So it looks like we are going to at least force a game 7, which is a good. So we are going to blow them out. We put up 165 on their head. But now we go to a game 7 back to Milwaukee at home. We love nothing more than to get out of first round once again into the second round. So it looks like we're still, contending, and we are going to win our first round series. Now we get the Pacers, so that's awesome. We beat them last year. Got to the finals, beat them in the conference finals. Let's see if we can beat them again. So might current round against Indiana, and we're up 2-1. They even it up. We got to win this game 5 if we want any chance, I feel like, but we'll see what happens. We are facing the MVP in Halliburton, so they are going to win game 5, though, it looks like. So unfortunately for us, we're going to lose game 5. All right. We got to come out of our game 5 hole once again. We'll see if we can do it. So here we go. Game 6. In Milwaukee. Can we get there? Let's see. It's going to be a tough one, but maybe we can do it. And we are going to lose. It looks like we barely lose in round 2 to Indiana, but unfortunately it's not enough. So I think major changes have to come this offseason, which we will definitely be doing. I guess we lost to the team that inevitably went on to win it all. But yeah, unfortunately, season comes to a very disappointing ending. So draft lottery, of course, isn't going to matter for us. Maybe we have a pick in this draft, or is that might be a future pick, actually. Warriors get number 1. Staff signing. Doc Rivers is gone. We're not going to bring him back. So we're going to get a new head coach here. So that's going to be the first change we make. So who do we want is the question. Get Chauncey reunited with Damian Lillard. I'm not going to do that. If Nick Nurse wants to come be the coach of the Bucks, he does not, though, unfortunately. Damn, that would have been awesome. Quinn Snyder, what you thinking? You want to be the head coach of the Bucks? That'd be kind of cool if you did. What else we got? So Willie Green, I guess, wouldn't be terrible. So let's go Willie Green. I think we can get Willie Green if we can't get Quinn Snyder. So let's see. So Quinn Snyder's going to accept. So we're going to go ahead and get Quinn Snyder as our new head coach here in Milwaukee. So like that a lot. And we'll sign our wing whisperer. We don't have a draft pick. So now it's just back to the drawing board. I think we might look into trading like Middleton or Bobby Portis. I think that's where I'm going to go next with this. So let's get straight to work on that idea. So here we are before draft night, and as promised, I'm going to try to make a move here. So I'm going to see if I can send Chris Middleton out of here along with this 2028 pick swap from the Blazers. And of course, it's the worst of those, but let's see what pops up. So the Bulls are wanting to give me Patrick Williams and Jalen Smith. I don't hate it. That gives us a floor spacing center in Jalen Smith. And we get Patrick Williams, who is obviously a knockdown shooter in this game. Now, why would the Bulls do this? I don't know. But the Bulls are a weird team, as we all know. So, I don't know. We definitely are going to consider that one. The Clippers want to give us Zubac and Derek Jones Jr. Also not a bad option. Miles Bridges and Grant Williams. Reeves and D'Lo. Sarr and Jonathan Isaac. So, maybe Orlando wants... I don't know. I could see Orlando maybe being interested in that. You got Gafford and Washington from... the Bucks, or from the Mavericks, sorry. So Chris Middleton goes to the Mavericks, and they get a first-round pick with it, and they get, Kyrie, Luka, Middleton. That's kind of interesting as well. You get off Gafford and Washington's contract. I guess Middleton isn't expiring. I don't know. Just something to think about. Herb Jones and Trey Murphy obviously would be amazing. I just don't see the Bucks or the Pelicans doing that. But there are some good offers in here. Cannot deny that. Denny Avdia and Tamani Kamara, Zeke Bay, and Jordan Poole. Patrick Williams and Jalen Smith definitely catching my eye. But for me, the Bulls trading for Chris Middleton doesn't make a lot of sense. The Clippers are probably heading towards a rebuild eventually as well. I think out of all these, Washington and Gafford is probably our best bet. It gives us a really good backup center in Gafford. Washington kind of comes over and, just a rotational piece somehow. So Middleton and this first round pick for Gafford and Washington, I'm with it, man. I think we got to do it. We got to try to make some change here. Dallas wants Middleton apparently, and that's fine with me. To sweeten this even more, because obviously just based off what we last saw, Gafford and Washington were amazing for the Mavericks, but this is years down the line, so maybe that changes. Things change all the time. Now, this 2030 is also a pick swap with the Blazers. We have to send that 2029 pick to the Blazers because that actually, straight up belongs to them. But we're going to send this over. Now, they want the second round pick. They'll give me a 2030 pick swap, I guess. Which, again, I guess we just won't give them another first. They're just going to take the one, I guess. I don't know. 2030 unprotected. They want to give me a first round pick for whatever reason. I don't understand, but whatever. I'm trying to give you 2 first. I think that's more than fair. Second, they'll give me a 20. I don't understand this game sometimes. Okay, let's just go back to the original trade and call it a day. So Middleton, this pick for those 2 guys, we'll pull the trigger, try to give them another first pick swap. They say no. Middleton is gone now. So we'll figure out how we're going to do the rotation entirely just yet. But we got our backup center in Gafford, which feels great. I think Giannis is going to have to stay at the center throughout the video. I didn't want to do that originally, but it's just best to do that with the spacing thing, So I think that's how we'll do things, unless we figure out how to get a center who spaces the floor. We'll see if we can eventually figure that out. I don't know if we will. But A.J. Johnson's our backup point guard. Malik Monk, still our starting shooting guard. Tyler Smith is probably going to step up at that starting small forward spot. Maybe we could also, because Washington and Bobby Portis are power forwards right now. So yeah, we got a different look. I don't know if that's going to solve all of our problems, but at least we're doing something different, and now it's going to run it back and hope for the best. So we're going to have to re-sign Beauchamp and also Tyler Smith, but it doesn't give me the option to re-sign Tyler Smith just yet, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and just make sure we get Beauchamp back. And then we do have money to sign like a minimum guy if we want, but I think we pretty much have everything. Once we get Tyler Smith back, we pretty much have a full rotation. So I think that's what we'll go with. So our one major change was getting, Washington and Gafford. So we'll see if that ends up making a difference for us. We needed to move Middleton out of here to maybe change some things up for us. So Damian Lillard's up to an 87. Washington, Tyler Smith, Ajax, AJ Johnson, Beauchamp, all developing. So AJ Johnson up to a 77 helps out a ton, of course. We got a legitimate back of 5. That helps out a ton as well. Tyler Smith up to an 80. Fantastic. All of this upgrading works out for us in the long run, and I love that. So, I'm happy with where we're at. We'll see how next season goes. We're going to year 3, I believe, at this point. But I'm excited for what we could eventually do maybe this season. So, we'll hope for the best. We also have a new head coach. That's definitely an underrated factor. We don't have Doc Rivers anymore, so maybe that makes a massive difference. We'll just kind of see what happens. So, power rank is going to let us 5th overall. We're 4.5, 7 seconds. So, you can't deny that this team on paper looks pretty good. So Damian Lillard, Malik Monk, Ajax, Bobby Portis. You got Daniel Gafford and Washington off the bench with Giannis at the 5. Tyler Smith and AJ Johnson and Beauchamp. So team looks incredible. Hopefully it turns out like that. We'll simulate this season and we'll hope for the best. So MVP goes to John Morant. AJ's your rookie of the year. Hardy's your 6th man. Chet defensive player. Liam's most improved in Dallas. Donovan Mitchell's your clutch player. And Will Hardy is your coach of the year. So here's your NBA first team. You got Luka on the Atlanta Hawks now. So I guess the Mavericks trading for Middleton didn't make any sense. I thought Luka probably would have stayed, but I guess he left. So, yeah, that sucks for them. I guess maybe they're rebuilding and wanted to get a first-round pick. I try to give them 2. I don't know. Regardless, whatever. What can I do about it now? I already have the guy. So, we do have Giannis making it an all-NBA second team, which is great. But we end up as the 13th in the East. So, things went well again, which is exciting. Yeah, 24 from Damian Lillard, 20 from Giannis, 18 from Malik Monk, 13 from Tyler Smith, 10 from Portis, 10 from Washington, 9 from AJ Johnson, 9 from Gafford, and 5 from Andre Jackson. So I'm going to go to an 8-man rotation right away in these playoffs. I want to just play my 8 best players and hope things work out. So get Indiana round 1. They ended up beating us last year, I believe. So hopefully this time around we can get our lick back, as they say. Someone in current round against Indiana. And we are going to go down 3-1. All right, well, I guess whatever we did is maybe not good enough. As Washington sucks, I guess. He's terrible in the sim, which isn't great. All right, well, this is only year 3, I guess. So at least we have some time to turn this bad boy around. But it looks like we are going to at least win this one. We're not done just yet. Maybe, just maybe, we come back from 3-1. I wouldn't rule it out. But they are going to blow us out in the first quarter here. So we really got to cut up some ground, but we do that for a second. Okay, we are going to no, we don't. We lose at the end. Wow, I thought we forced a game 7. All right, I also, by the way, extended Giannis and Dame, so we're absolutely committed to them for the last 2 years of this rebuild. So Orlando and Detroit goes on to beat them, and the Pistons go on to win it all. So what do we do now? So Paul George retires, but clearly we've hit a wall where we can't get past, I guess, the Indiana Pacers for whatever reason. So Rockets #1 via Phoenix. So they got another good pick there, but I thought getting Quinn Snyder here would help. It has not I mean, it was only 1 season. I'm not going to fire him now, but what do we do now? So let's go straight to player options. We don't have a draft pick, obviously, so straight to player options we go. And we got AJ Johnson. We'll accept that. Yeah, we can re-sign Tyler Smith this offseason, which is great. So finally get him on a long-term contract. Portis is a free agent as well. He's asking for $23 million. He does have a nice offer from the Sixers. I think I got to fork it over, which kind of sucks because, yeah, I'm going to give it to him. Hopefully he's willing to accept it. So, yeah, so we're going to get Bobby Portis back. I don't think I can just let him walk for nothing. We're going to get Bobby Portis back on a 4-year deal. And then, all right, so I guess the rest of our problem is going to be figured out through a trade. So, I think we got to try to send out one of the forwards, I guess. Maybe it's PJ Washington because he was terrible in the playoffs. He's just not a very good sim player. He's making $14 million, so that could probably get us something around the league. Gafford, Giannis. I mean, if I could find a way to get a new center and move Giannis back to power forward, I think that's what I want to try to do with Washington. I just don't know if we'll be able to. So, let's go through free agency a little bit and see if we can maybe get a center through free agency. Again, it ideally has to be a floor spacing one. So, a center who's making less than $14 million. I don't know if we'll be able to get that going for us, but we'll see. So $14 million. So a lot of these guys haven't signed yet, but is there anybody who I'm willing to start? Not really. It just isn't there. It just isn't there. So I think Giannis has to stay at the 5, unfortunately. That doesn't mean we can't trade PJ Washington away, though. So let's see what Washington can get us at least. So not someone I often go after, but the Phoenix Suns are offering me Marcus Sasser and a first-round pick for PJ Washington. Let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and do that trade with Phoenix. We get ourselves, which I think we can move AJ Johnson to shooting guard. He might even go up. He does. So we'll move AJ Johnson to shooting guard. So now we have Marcus Sasser. Washington is gone. That gives Bobby Portis the full-time power forward role. Actually, what I think we might do is we can maybe move Tyler Smith down there. And I guess we start, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe we don't do that, but we have our guard situation set. So just a little bit of tweaking, nothing too crazy. Inevitably, we might end up having to make like a massive trade. But, I mean, the team is still decent. I don't get Sasser all that often, but, I mean, he averaged 49% from 3 last year. I don't know how many attempts he was taking a game, but you really can't deny how good that is, obviously. But we go into year 4. We'll see. I've been working around the edges. We've been a second apron team pretty much this whole video. Been doing my very best to make it work. It hasn't been easy, of course, but 4.5, 7 seconds still. Damian Lillard, Malik Monk, Ajax, Bobby Portis, Giannis, Daniel Gafford, Tyler Smith, Marcus Sasser, AJ Johnson. Obviously, just running 9-man rotation again. I do want to start Tyler Smith over Ajax, though, to be honest with you. So I will do that continually. But yeah, let's go another season, and we'll see what happens. So we are 34-17 at the deadline, and I'm going to finally try to do it. I have a couple centers I'm going to go after here. I'm going to finally try to move Giannis back to his traditional spot at power forward. So the first guy we're going to try to go after is Khalil Ware on the Hawks. So we're going to see if we can make something happen here with Bobby Portis' salary. I don't know if we'll be able to. So Bobby Portis actually has a decent amount of trade value, but if they can't take on... Okay, so they can actually... do this, so that's great. Or we can do this because we don't have 15 players on our roster, which is phenomenal. So Eddie Knox, so just like that, Khalil Ware, Eddie Knox for Bobby Portis. If we get Khalil Ware, that moves Giannis back to the back to power forward, like we've been trying to accomplish. What do they say? They simply are losing too much, I guess. A first round pick doesn't get it done. That's a 2028 pick swap. So yeah, we got a lot more access to picks. So let's say a few seconds. Does that make a difference for the Hawks here? We're simply losing too much at our main backup center spot in a rotation. Okay. Well, what if we move Bobby Portis to center for you? Because he was listed as center originally anyway. So let's try that. So maybe that changes their mind. So let's go back to the original trade. So we can get Chloe Ware, who I have not gotten in the video before, by the way. He's on the Hawks now, not the Heat anymore. So Chloe Ware, and you give me a... Chloe Ware is on the Heat in real life, right? He got drafted the Heat. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Chloe Ware, and then you give me, once again, whoever, Eddie Knox. And what do you say now? So they want Dean Wade. I can't combine salaries, so we'll keep Dean Wade out of it. What if I throw you some seconds? What do you say? They want Dean Wade. I can't do a combined contract. Just don't. Okay. A second. They want Dean Wade. For whatever reason, Dean Wade is the deal breaker. I don't know why that's the case, but man, I want to make this happen so badly. 2028 pick that we just got from that trade. What do you say? They want Dean Wade once again. Bro, get Dean Wade out of the conversation. Just realize you're not getting Dean Wade. Because I can't throw him in this trade. So Dean Wade... Come on, man. We can get this done. I'm not trading a second. Dean Wade. Dean Wade is all they freaking want. We're over the second apron, right? Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure. This is the year 2028. Who knows what the second apron would be at this point? Actually, you know what? I think the second apron would probably be higher than 210 million in the year of 2028, right? Surely. So you know what? I will throw Dean Wade at you. I don't know why you want Dean Wade so badly, but if we get Khalil Ware... He is a floor spacing big. That moves exactly how we want to do our rotation. So, Dean Wade for Bobby Portis. Sure, why not? So, just like that, Giannis moves to power forward once again for the first time in this video. Again, happy to have him back there. And Khalil Ware is our brand new starting. I'm going to make sure that Khalil Ware starts because we need this floor spacing and the starting lineup. So, Gafford, you're going to have to come off the bench still. But, man, I'm excited about that trade. So we're pretty much committed to Dean Wade, or not Dean Wade. Dean Wade still in my head at the moment. Damian Lillard, Malik Monk, Tyler Smith, Giannis, Chloe Ware. It's beautiful. I love it. Let's simulate this season. Rest of the season, that is. And man, let's hope we get this championship. So moving Giannis back to power forward results in him getting the MVP this season, which I absolutely love to see. So Giannis, All-NBA first team. Do we get Dame to finally make one? We do not, but oh well. We got the first seed in the Eastern Conference, which is all that matters. So getting Khalil Ware was absolutely awesome to move Giannis back to power forward. But you had 24 from Giannis. You had 19 from Tyler Smith. So the man has definitely developed into what we want. And then you got Lake Monk with 17, AJ Johnson with 12, 10 from Khalil Ware, 8 from Gafford, and 8 from Sasser. But all that matters is trying to go get a championship. We run into Detroit, who's been really good in this video. So hopefully that doesn't result in us getting beat by them. But we are going to beat them in 5. So good start so far. And now we get the Brooklyn Nets, who have a 75 overall starting point guard. And their best players, Evan Mobley and Cameron Thomas. I know they have Ian Jackson. And Ian Jackson in yesterday's video was phenomenal. But man, I really hope we don't lose to Milwaukee or Brooklyn in round 2. And we are going to go up 3-1. Let's close them out in 6. Let's not sweat a weird game 7. Let's just make sure. So AJ Johnson is going to start. Ooh, I want Indiana so badly too. Give me into the conference finals, please. I want to get revenge from last year, or the last 2 years, I think. So please win this one. And we are going to win. Let's go. So we're in the conference finals. We get to play the 7-seeded Indiana Pacers. So this is what they're looking like still. Colin Sexton will be top. And they have a pretty damn good team. But here we go. We current round against Indiana. And they're up 3-2. No way. They're going to get us, aren't they? Oh, man. All right, I guess be careful what you wish for, right? All right, well, let's go. Aim in rotation. Game 6 in Indiana. We got to win it. Come out firing, please. So they are going to have the lead, but we are right on their tail. Please take the lead. Please get it. Please force a game 7. And we're not going to, bro. Indiana owns our franchise. Jazz, Pacers, and the Pacers go on to win it all. Well, I think we got one more season in us because Dame and Giannis are about to be free agents after that. And I think I'll just end it on that note. And we've gotten 5 years in. But I think I'm probably just going to run it back. I mean, the young guys are really developing and doing their thing. So I'm very happy with that, how that's going. Let me get Jacob Underwood, who's a very good assistant. See if that makes any difference in the world. But man, Indiana is the team that keeps knocking us off, which is really annoying. Qualifying offers AJ Johnson. Obviously, going to re-sign him. I believe Malik Monk's a free agent as well. He wants 20. Okay, 20 million is not bad. So, AJ Johnson wants quite a bag as well. Definitely back to being a second apron team if we weren't already. So, all right. we're running it back. Same team. I don't care. We got Giannis back to power forward. Maybe Khalil Ware will even develop another year as well. So here we go. Going to this final season. If we could just avoid Indiana, I think we win a championship. I'm hoping. I'm hoping and praying. Both these guys, well, I guess Giannis isn't last year of his deal, but Dame is. At 38 years old, I'll call it after that. So here we go. Final chance at it. All or nothing. Let's get it. Another MVP trophy for Giannis Antetokounmpo, but we want to be hoisting another trophy at the end of this. Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year, and executive goes to Edgar Flores. So, Giannis, All-NBA first team. Do we get a Dame appearance? No, no Dame at all in this video. I don't think we've seen him on a single All-NBA team throughout this video, but whatever. We are the first in the East. Indiana on the other side of the bracket. I'm kind of hoping to avoid them today to try to see if we can get this championship for this final season or for this, this playoff run. But here we go. Round 1, we get the Miami Heat. So we have Cooper Flagg. Wow. And Keontae George, Hero, Jimmy, and Bam. What a team they've thrown together. Holy moly. I would not be weirdly surprised if we got bounced by this Miami team, which would be a really unfortunate ending. But, man, this is a good damn team that I'm looking at. Well, let's see what happens. So, we are going to... Okay, we were up 3-0 at one point. And of course, I clicked Simcast Live on accident. Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, we might get eliminated in round 1 here. There's a good chance because, like I said, staring at this Miami team, I don't know, what they did to put this team together, but man, oh man, is it a good damn team. So, aim-in rotation, though. Hopefully, don't get bounced in round 1. Game 7 in Milwaukee. And Miami's giving Milwaukee a lot of problems, so I guess they're just back. But looks like we, okay, so we are gonna beat them. So very close, but we do end up beating them. Indiana gets eliminated. Okay, this is our chance. Charlotte. They have Ariza, Brandon Miller, Ace Bailey, LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Andrew Wiggins. Just beat. Of course, we're down 3-0. Why would it be that easy? Wow, okay. Well, I'm heartbroken. I couldn't get my boy Dame a championship today. It doesn't look like anyway. Well, here we go. Maybe we come back from 3-0. It's not over yet. It's not over till it's over, as they say. We are gonna win this one. Okay, so we win game 4. We win game 5, things become interesting, but I don't know, man. Coming back from 3-0 is going to be a tough task. Got a close one here. And we are going to win. Okay. We've won 2 in a row. Make it 3 in a row. Things become very interesting. That's all I'll say. Game 6 in Charlotte to force a game 7 back to Milwaukee. It looks like they're going to blow us out, though. Wait. Oh, no, they got it. They got it. No, they beat us. Man, that sucks. That really sucks. I really wanted to get Dame and Giannis a championship together, and I unfortunately failed, man. So, what can I do? We get eliminated by Charlotte, and Chicago goes all the way, and they get a championship. So, shout out to the Bulls. I guess I'll end it on that note. A very depressing note. I think we did a pretty good job overall of trying to surround Giannis and Dame with talent, but it never paid off, unfortunately. But I hope you guys enjoyed regardless. I'll see y'all in the next video where hopefully we can bounce back. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.